Hey guys, so a lot of you have been asking me about what rent to own is and how it works. So I do have a treat for you today. I have Neena Popat here. She is the co-founder and president of N Square Property Solutions, and we're gonna have a little Q&A today. Nina, thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for this opportunity.
Dan, thank you so much for bringing me in again. And it's been so amazing to get to know you through this journey and for the families we have helped so far in Windsor. And it's an incredible honor. I love you, the A4U team, and I believe we really align in our mission and our value system to really help more people and create impact one family at a time. So thank you for having me here. Thanks for a wonderful time in Windsor so far. And I'm excited to discuss this further with you and our whole community here.
Yeah, so thank you. So first of all, I want to get some background on N Square. How did this whole thing come about, and what is the overall mission?
Absolutely. So every morning at 10 a.m., I have an alarm that goes off on my phone, and three words pop up. And these three words are words that I want to be remembered by, and words that really have a huge value for me and what I strive to be every day. And these three words are purpose, impact, and happiness. And that's what through N Square Property Solutions rent to own program, the assisted home purchase program, that's what we strive to do every single day, is to create impact one person at a time, one family at a time. And we look to leverage our tools, our resources, our education in order to help facilitate in creating these solutions and working with partners like yourself to help more people every single day.
Oh, that sounds great and mutually beneficial. So I'm curious, how many families have you helped through the program so far?
So we've helped hundreds of families with our business partners, and we are looking to help thousands. And we do this with holding the fundamental principles in place, ensuring that we are following all regulations set out by Ontario, the guidelines set up by the Canadian housing system as well, but to ensure that we are doing this one family at a time and leaving a massive impact through that journey as well.
Excellent. And the couple families we did help already in Windsor, the feedback is just through the roof. They're over the moon with the results and everything. So now I want to know, where has this been? Because I understand it's not just Windsor, but where has this been successful and where is it most common?
Absolutely. The rent-to-own program can technically be done in any market, in any place, and it's actually done all over the world in one essence as well. However, our success has been in markets where we're geographically well located, where cities are going through development with projects for increased economic infrastructure, with various industry growth, and I feel like Windsor really ticks all those boxes as well, where home prices are also still very much relatively affordable compared to other markets like Toronto or Mississauga or Vancouver, where you have major corporations coming in. You have the bridge being developed here. We have various plants being open when it comes to electric vehicles and all those fun things. And so that's where families are now migrating to Windsor from some of these bigger cities. I don't want to kind of downplay Windsor by any means in that essence, and really grow their grassroots here, work towards achieving their own financial dreams and goals, and home ownership being one of those goals.
So what are you finding are the common problems that are holding these people back from being able to get a mortgage on their own and buying the house the traditional way?
Absolutely. Rent to own is definitely a more creative, non-traditional way to home ownership. And if someone can get in the traditional way, we definitely encourage that as option number one. However, rent to own and our assisted home purchase program really helps in situations where either people might be having challenges with credit, and so we really reasonably want to create a plan that's going to help repair that credit within the term 2 to 4 years, or not having enough of a down payment. Homes are getting more expensive, and saving for a down payment is becoming more and more challenging, especially with cost of living and where it's going. A loaf of bread has doubled in price almost. And so with through our program, they are also helped with saving for that down payment month over month by accruing a portion of their monthly payments towards that final down payment. So to answer your question, typically people who are having credit challenges, or if they're having trouble saving for a down payment. However, this program is also helpful for new business owners or people who are self-employed and starting in that journey, or young professionals who have amazing careers and amazing career path ahead of them, but are just getting their feet wet and building their grassroots and foundations, or people have gone through a bad situation such as a divorce, unfortunately, and are looking to get back up on their feet. There's many situations, where our rent-to-own program has been very, very helpful for people. And I forgot one more category: immigrants and newcomers to Canada who are looking to achieve that Canadian dream and have their own home and call a home their own, and be able to have an opportunity at that while building their credit the right way. And so our assisted home purchase program can definitely help so many across the board, and we're so excited to be a part of those journeys with our families.
And that's a big misconception with new immigrants that do come to the country, because immigration's at an all-time high, and a lot of these people do come educated. They come with a lot of income, but they have to start their whole credit profile from scratch, from ground zero. But another thing I want to know now is what makes N Square's assisted home purchase program different from the other rent-to-own programs out there, or if you don't know about those programs, but what makes yours special?
Absolutely, thanks. And I appreciate the question, because I take so much pride, and we take so much pride in building out our program the way we have. We have two really big goals to our program. First one being the obvious of home ownership and getting our families there to that success point, that milestone. Number two is education and guidance. And this could be in all parts of everything, whether it's financially and really teaching them the ins and outs of the Canadian system and the mortgage system and the lending system, whether it's mindset, and also with dealing with the home. Home ownership takes work, as we know, and sharing in that pride of home ownership. And so really being those guides and holding their hands through that process, those are our two big goals: home ownership and education and guidance. Our program is also really different as well, because we ensure that our clients have access to all of our networks and resources and professionals and tools to leverage through that journey to better themselves and better their situation. We help put them into specialized programs as well that's going to coach and guide and educate them, as I said, some self-learning modules as well that they do once they're through the program. They pay fixed rent for the entire term, so they are paying rent anyways, but why not lock in that rent for the whole duration of the term and not be subjected to any increases that are technically allowed? We make sure that they have immediate control and possession of their home. They're picking that home. We want them to enjoy that home, and we just help facilitate all the steps in that process. But they move in and they work towards that home ownership model. And we are pet friendly. Pets are an important part of the family, and we want to make sure that if a pet is a part of someone's family, they're also welcome in that home as well. And the best part of this whole process, or one of the best parts, I feel like there's so many amazing parts with this whole journey, but one of the best parts is that future home price is definite, it's locked in, it's committed, and it's agreeable per a legalized contract that all parties sign. So there's a lot of transparency through the process to say that future home price is going to be locked in, and they're going to benefit from that appreciation that they continue to add to the home.
So that really gives them a lot of peace of mind. And when you were talking about the immediate control and possession of the property, they're not going to be like a normal rental situation where any day you can just get a letter in the mail and you got to be out in 60 days for certain reasons. Another thing to get into, but I love that, definitely. So what are the requirements for someone to qualify for this program?
Great question. So we do a lot of due diligence through our approval process to ensure that we can set clients up for success. As you can imagine, everyone wants to own a home. But again, it takes work, and we want to make sure that at the end of that term, they are qualifying for that mortgage. And so when we are looking at a potential client, we assess a few different variables, primarily surrounding their income level and will their income be able to support that future mortgage. Number two, we want to make sure they have the mindset and the goals to stick it out for the term and get to that end point. We are making an investment as well with our time, our resources, and so we want to ensure it's mutually agreeable that they're going to get to that end point, and that they have some savings to enter the program. However, not the full down payment, or some actually do in certain situations as well, but some savings to enter the program, have some skin in the game as well, and ensure that it's a win-win-win solution. So.
Excellent. I love that. It's so hands-on, and the mindset's so important, because you need the right people that are willing to put in the work, because it's work on both ends, but it's a group effort for a win-win-win situation. So you've worked hard on a 5-step process in this program. Can you tell me about the 5 steps to home ownership?
Absolutely. Step number one, qualification and approval. As I mentioned, Dan, and when we just spoke, is that we want to ensure that our clients are set up for success. So we, along with our mortgage brokers, our licensed mortgage brokers who specialize in rent to own, we work together to create a mutually agreeable plan, financial plan, if they're approved, in order to ensure that they get to that endpoint. Number two, where you come in, shopping and acquisition of the property. So you get to take them out shopping. We all get to have fun discussions on what they like in homes, what they don't like in the homes, and finally close on a property that hits all expectations from all ends. Number three, move-in day. Also a really fun part of the process where I get to give them the keys to their new home, walk them through the home, and just identify things in the home that they're going to make their own. And I love getting the photos after they move in, actually, and they set up and they send me pictures of their children or what they did with one of the rooms. And so it gives me the real feels, and I get goosebumps even when I think about some of the photos. Program management obviously is a very important part of the process as well, to ensure it's not here are the keys and see you in 3 years or 4 years. It's we're going to check in with them every 4 to 6 months, have frequent check-ins to ensure the plan is being followed, the financial plan that we've developed. They're checking with their licensed mortgage brokers and other professionals to ensure that questions are being answered and they're on track. We definitely want to get to that end point knowing that they're closing on that property and they're taking possession and ownership of it. And finally, the last step, as I've just touched on, is the end of term mortgage qualification and the successful transfer of ownership to that client. And so it's a full 5-step process, each step being fulfilling in so many ways and a true win-win again.
Excellent. And, it takes a lot of work to iron out the kinks and things like that. And so when somebody goes through the program, they get approved for it, I want to know who is going to be responsible for the maintenance and repairs of the property.
Great question. So day-to-day maintenance, day-to-day repairs are the responsibility of the clients, of our tenant buyers. We call them tenant buyers because they're tenant first and then they're buyers. But we believe there's no greater feeling than the feeling of ownership. And so once they take on and once they move into the property, once they move into the property and they start working towards that journey of home ownership, they are definitely changing the light bulb, dealing with any day-to-day repairs, the landscaping and all of that. For any large unforeseeable repairs that we just, had no handle on, there's a hurricane or, when I think about Hurricane Ian down south right now, that's where we come in as well, and Square Property Solutions, to really ensure that we come up with a solution to help take care of that and deal with the insurance if needed, or again, in an unforeseen circumstance. But the big thing, Dan, I believe we really align in this, is that we really want to make sure a property inspection is done before entering that home, so that there are reasonable expectations set out to say, this home is good, there's no any big major expenses that we can anticipate over the next few years through the term. All homes will have some things that we need to do, or change the roof, or upgrade various parts of the home over time. But we want to make sure for that first 5 years into that person's journey, into that client's journey, there's no major surprises. And so I hope that answers your question.
It does. And, being a realtor, going through here, shopping for these properties, I've walked through hundreds of homes. Nothing's ever a 10 out of 10 or 100%. And just getting that inspection is really the best way to set the stage for success and try to mitigate your risk. So I love that you implement that into your plan. And now you've also developed a lot of relationships and partnerships through this industry. You have a lot of professionals on your side. How can this benefit one of your tenant buyers, I love that term, by the way.
My world thrives in all parts of my world thrive on making connections, building relationships. And if that means we can all help each other out to build out more win-win-win solutions, that's what I truly inspire to do every single day, whether it's through rent to own or just day-to-day living. Definitely our clients benefit from our network of professionals and other industry professionals too, and we're constantly growing. And as diligent as our process is with screening our clients, the same goes for our partners as well. We really want to make sure that whoever we work with through the journey is aligned in that same mission to serve and create an impact one day at a time, one business deal at a time, one transaction at a time. And therefore, when they share in that same vision to serve, it doesn't matter if they're directly recipients of this program, or they can help in any other way. Our networks of realtors, mortgage brokers, lawyers, property inspectors, accountants, anyone in the industry are ready to really roll their sleeves up and help facilitate in any way they can. And so definitely a huge benefit for our clients as well.
I can speak from experience. You're only as good as your team. So, so that's definitely important. And now we're going to get into the nitty gritty stuff.
For sure.
How much is someone going to pay at the end of the term for the property? And how do the payments work?
Great question, and definitely a very important question. So a couple of things there. One, as I mentioned, that future home price is determined before entering that program. And that's done with the mortgage broker who looks at all the numbers and their personal numbers and debts and all of that. So we lock that price in. It's a locked in definite home price. We then work backwards. So we bank in a very conservative market appreciation, which we work with you to figure out and determine based on the current market, where we're at in Windsor, for example, what's a reasonable market appreciation. Market appreciation right now is between that 5 to 6% mark, very reasonably. Through COVID, we saw appreciation rates between 10 to 20%. Unreasonable. So what we do is we lock in at a very conservative rate to ensure that there's enough security in there for our clients, but enough of a win both ways as well. We then determine what that home price is. We work backwards to determine what is the purchase price we can then reasonably afford today. And with that price is locked in. So if that home, not even if, in most scenarios, that home has always been valued more than what we've locked in that price at the end of the term, our clients are benefiting from that extra equity. We're not going in and changing the price to be valued at more just because the market says it's been valued at more. Other associated costs at the end would be your normal legal fees and all of that you'd be subjected to regardless whether you do the program or not. So that's pretty basic. But we align that, we set that all out very initially in that customized plan, as I talked about before any client or anyone like that enters the program. So it's very transparent and they know what they're getting into.
Excellent. And so how do they save up that down payment? Is that a part of the program as well?
Yes, absolutely. And that was your second question. So great. So there's a couple of different ways of what we do. So one, as I mentioned, there is a savings that our clients are bringing into the program, and that savings initially, what they bring into the program, that gets credited towards their future down payment. Additionally, because we know what that future home price is going to be, we already know what the down payment looks like. So we work backwards and we subtract whatever is initially brought into the program and divide whatever's remaining amongst the months they're in the program to accrue through their monthly payments to save for that final down payment. So in another way, and to put it in other words, there's two payments made every month. One is their rent payment, which they're paying regardless of in the program or not in the program, and also being locked in for the full duration of the program. That's not changing. But number two, that additional options payment or deposit payment, that is accrued through the program to total for that final down payment. So almost a forced savings plan.
Excellent.
Dan, this is also reasonable, and I want to highlight one more thing here
Sure.
for our clients is that with the addition of these two payments, that lump sum that you get is actually going to be very similar to what they're going to be even paying post when they own the house at the end of the program. As homeowners, as property owners, as we know, we're subjected to multiple payments more than outside of our regular rental, which is our mortgage payment, our property tax, and our property insurance. So we really get our clients in the habit of saving these lump sums through the program so there's no surprises at the end for them.
Excellent. So it's kind of like a homeowners in training program because you're already getting them used to the associated costs of home ownership. And with all the education you're providing, it sounds like they're going to come out of this program better managing their costs than when they came in, and really setting them up for success. I know that's a phrase I've been saying a lot, but that's a huge focus of this program from my experience witnessing people go through it. And another thing I want to add to it is that keeping the equity, like you mentioned, that price is locked in, whether that property goes up more than what that locked in price is, they walk away with that equity. And this can allow them that if they didn't get their forever home, but they got like a very good 5-year home, they can skip a rung on that property ladder and they could walk away with that equity. And does that also count if they, I don't know, like improve the property, like they updated the flooring or something? Do they walk away with that as well? That stands to their benefit?
Absolutely, and we encourage that actually. Whether you change up the landscaping, you change up the cabinets, and again, keeping the budget in mind and keeping that financial plan in mind. We don't want anyone blowing the budget, but definitely forcing that appreciation. They benefit from those equity gains once they purchase that home, and so we highly encourage it. We've had so many success stories where just changing a little thing, or redoing the backyard, or putting in new grass, or taking care of the bushes, the curb appeal, it just changes it, which then also adds to the value of the home as well. So to answer your question, yes, they walk away with benefiting from any value add they put into the home.
Excellent. And so there's a lot of people out there that are asking about rent-to-own all the time. And I'm sure they're going to want to know, how do they reach you? Do you have a website? Do you have an Instagram page? Like, how do they get in touch with you?
All of the above. So I do have a website, www.nsquare.ca. And I have an email address as well, neena@nsquare.ca. I'll also be working at putting a phone number on that website as well. But the best way to do it, there's multiple means to, on the website, go in and put your information in. And once you send me an email, whether or not you are an ideal candidate for the program, and like I said, it's a multi-step process to approve you, but I will provide feedback or guidance regardless. We want to ensure, even if we can't walk you through this program or take you down this journey, I can give you a few tools or resources to leverage in either another community, or whether it's you need a few more months and you need some guidance on how to be set up for successful home ownership. If I can provide any value add through the process, that is my number one goal initially.
Excellent. And I've heard of people that have contacted you. They couldn't get approved for the program just yet. They weren't qualified, but what do you do with those individuals?
Yes, great question. So I've worked with families, and I'm presently actually actively working with the family right now who, for their qualification process, who first approached me almost 8 to 10 months ago, and they were there. We could have made it successful. However, there was just a few kind of variables that if they worked on through the year, they would better set themselves up for success with this program as well. And so I gave them that feedback, and I said to them, reach out to me once you've hit these milestones, and put a date in my calendar as well to check in with them. And they reached out to me on their own accord, and they said, Neena, we've taken care of these things now. Do you think we're better set up now? And that's when we worked together. We worked with the licensed mortgage agent as well, and set up the plan to say, yes, it is a better time now, and let's start shopping. So yes, definitely there's feedback points throughout the process as well.
I love that. So in a way, you're already coaching them before they're even in the program, and you're getting them prepared for the program. So that just speaks to the amount of dedication and passion you have towards this, just bridging these first-time home buyers into homes. So what does it look like for me as a client? If I'm going on your website, how do I set up a consultation?
Great question. So on the website, there's multiple opportunities to fill out a form, or there's my email address there as well. Send me an email. Let me know what you're looking to do, and where you're at in your journey, and that the rent-to-own program might be a good fit for you. And I'll then review that. I might send you some more questions back to just gather some background information. I don't want to waste your time or my time either. But definitely get the parameters in place to have a fruitful discussion on next steps, whether that being applying officially to the program, or next steps to say, maybe you can look at these other resources, or maybe you might be better set up for this. I get oftentimes calls about, wanting a 6-month rental, or you're moving to British Columbia in a year, and all fantastic situations, all different life situations. So the program's not meant for everybody in every situation. And that's where we really, through our initial conversations, understand who this is going to help versus there might be a better option for something else for someone else.
I absolutely love that. If somebody's necessarily not ready for the program now, you do what it takes to get them ready. And that level of passion and dedication is just so hard to find nowadays. Neena, thank you so much for coming in today. It's been very informative, and I really appreciate your time.
Well, Dan, I truly love what I do, and it doesn't feel like work to me. And every time I come up this way and hang out with you and the whole AW for you team, it's always so much fun and such good laughs, even creating these videos. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity and really excited to see how we can continue to drive this forward and help one family at a time and really grow this in the Windsor market. And I know we are going to do incredible things together and help so many more people at the same time.
Well, you made it very easy to get in touch with you, and you can also get in touch with me. Again, if you want more information, feel free to reach out to myself or Neena, and we'd be very happy to serve you.